the house, the one they talking about, word of mouth. The boxing playhouse, without a doubt. All the latest and greatest boxing news, that's what it's all about.
What's up? This is Sakura A, and this is Boxing Playhouse. And of course, I got my partner in crime, Emelio Santana.
What's up, y'all?
And you're watching our After Dark series, and we got some serious hot topics for you tonight. You know what? The main thing that I want to talk about and discuss with you right now, what did you think about that Spence versus Garcia fight?
Wow, Spence Garcia. I thought Spence won the fight. Spence, he made it kind of easy. He did some boxing, he stayed behind the jab, did some body work.
Right.
I felt like Danny could have gave a little bit more. Danny was kind of reluctant, a little gun shy, just Danny didn't do enough. Errol did what he needed to do. He looked good, the year layoff and the car accident didn't affect him at all. So Errol did his thing. He won. I went with Errol, and he did his thing.
Oh, is this the part where you try to tell me that I was wrong and you were right because of your prediction being Errol and my prediction was Danny? Is this the part? Is this where I eat crow?
It's the part right here.
Well, I know how much you love the truth, Errol Spence, and nobody's more disappointed with Danny's performance than me. Because I went out on a limb for him. You know what I'm saying? And he gave me nothing. I mean, what are we going to do with Danny from now on? Like, what do you have to say? What can he do? What is your suggestion if you were in his camp or in his team?
I think Danny needs to bring another trainer in there, a strong trainer that's not afraid to let him know what he needs to do. He can keep his dad in there, but I think he needs a good trainer. We talked about this before. A lot of good trainers out there, but he needs somebody to really get in his ear. When the going gets tough, you need that guy like Ray Leonard had Angelo Dundee when Ray was losing to Tommy Hearns.
Yeah,
Dundee said some famous words, "You blowing it, babe," and Ray kicked into another gear and pulled that fight out. So I think Danny needs a guy in his corner, that can bring that out of him, because I know he got it in him. He just needs that right coach to get in his ear, when the going is going tough, somebody that could really bring it out of him. So I say add another trainer to his corner.
Okay, I could definitely agree with that. I mean, but more importantly, even before we get to the trainer aspect, I think we need to talk about Danny being pushed more. I mean, he is lackadaisical. I don't know where he's doing his training at, if it's in his house or whatever, but I feel like he needs somebody to really make him go to a sweat box type of gym, something like a St. Pete Boxing Club, where you get that raw feeling and it's that grit, and then maybe he'll from that smell, you know what I'm saying? And now he'll be like, damn, I remember when I ain't have shit and I was trying to win. Because to me, it seems like it's more of a mental thing than it is like a physical or training situation. But a good trainer would help him realize that these are opportunities that other boxers cannot get. So gets to going into the next gear.
The weird part about it, he's from Philadelphia, a city that's known for having the tough gyms with the tough fighters and bringing the best out of you. So he's coming from a city that's known for that. So
you gotta represent when you from Philly. You got to.
So I feel like Danny definitely, because he done lost, the three big major fights at welterweight. He lost to Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, now Errol Spence. So he done lost the three big ones. So he definitely got to make some changes, I feel. Bring in, maybe a little Steve Cunningham. Well, no, not Steve Cunningham, but
Cunningham. I don't forgot his name.
Cunningham, yeah.
Cunningham, Coach Cunningham.
Yeah, somebody like him, man, to get in his ear. I even thought about Teddy Atlas, somebody that could get in his ear and really bring the best out of Danny, because I think Danny still got a lot left in him. We just need that good coach to pull him through.
Absolutely. He is definitely a boxer that has all the attributes that a lot of boxers would just kill to have, those natural attributes. So there's no reason why he cannot come back from this particular defeat. And as for Errol Spence, all I got to say is, amen. Amen. God is good. This man was in a major car accident, probably suffered a concussion, then had to have reconstructive surgery on his mouth. And also, before that, was in a really tremendous headbanger type of fight with Sean Porter. And he came back from it. And there was no sense of ring rust or anything, just like you were saying. So all grace and mercy is with God on that one. So Errol got very, very blessed, and he needs to definitely show his appreciation for that. And by the way, what I was going to say is that I loved his walkout, because a lot of people did not notice that he actually was giving something like a tribute with that song to all of the fallen African-American males who have been gunned down from police brutality or police, I don't even know what to call it at this point, but situations that don't seem that could have been avoided.
Right.
So I really enjoyed the walkout too. So shout out to Errol Spence for having an actual cause during the walkout. I mean, it's good to party and jam on your way into the ring sometimes, but it's also great when you can use your platform and use it for a bigger message. Gotcha. So I really appreciated that.
The only thing that I didn't quite like with Errol that night was the end of the night. When they asked, when Errol was interviewed and they wanted to know what was next for him, and Errol said, "Man, I don't know. I want to go, go on the farm and ride my horses, and maybe next summer, I might be back. Maybe next summer." So I'm from the old school when guys like Muhammad Ali would climb in the ring and call you out. The Roy Jones guys that would call you out, and hype up a fight. I'm from that era. So to hear a guy, just lay back when you got the elephant in the room, Terrence Crawford sitting right in the audience looking at you, I just felt like he should have addressed Terrence Crawford. Even if you didn't have a date, you could have said, "Yo, I want that man next year sometime." It would have made me feel a lot better.
Exactly. I do too. But once again, that's the same situation I'm talking about with Danny, where you kind of done got lax and you're getting too comfortable with your new millions and you done forgot the struggle. So, I mean, both of them could take that takeaway from the fight too.
Right.
And let's see who was on here with us tonight. We got Boris, who says, "Excelente."
What's up, Boris?
I love it, Boris. Excelente to you too. And we got Clarence McLean on here tonight. Clarence, the New York boxing fan.
New York.
And then we got Henry Brown, our International Boxing Hall of Fame security. He will kick your ass up out of there if you don't belong.
What's up?
Mr. Henry says, "Boxing Playhouse. Hey there, guys. Sakura, very lovely dress. And my man Emelio, sharp cat, indeed.
Appreciate it, man.
Adore you guys. Boxing, boxing, boxing. Absolutely." And then we got Tito Escalera from TNK Boxing Promotions.
Tito.
Shout out to TNK Boxing Promotions in 2021. And then Victor Newman, he says, "You have zero fight knowledge. Why would your opinion matter? Because you have even less boxing knowledge, Victor. So you could actually learn a few things from me." Yeah, Victor, he doesn't even know who I am. How about you go read some of my articles on my website, which is boxingplayhouse.com, sweetheart, and you'll find out exactly how much I know. Well, how much more I know than you.
What he said on that?
I'm not even going to take time. He's just trying to get attention, baby. We don't do people like that attention. Okay, so we got Otto. Otto says, #Boxing Playhouse.
What's up, Otto? What's up?
And then we got Danny. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We got Sherman Henson, the trainer from Tampa. You can find him down there at Calta's gym. Or you can just call him directly because he's old school like that.
Sherman, what's up?
Okay, and Sherman says, "Danny, do a kick. Oh, got a kick in the ass." Oh man, don't show
Sherman,
out on my daddy like that.
Sherman, let us know what you think Danny needs to do. I want to hear from you now.
That's true. You as a trainer, tell us
Let
what
me
you
know.
think can improve Danny Garcia. And then we got Otto. He says Spence versus Thurman and Crawford versus Porter. And then the winners fight for number 1, welterweight, boxing, PlayHouse. Absolutely. Thanks for that hashtag, Otto. And I do like what you're suggesting we should do. We got Mark Anthony from the camp team MRJ,
Mark,
baby.
what's up?
He says Porter and Crawford close to being done deal.
Hey, I like that fight right there. Porter and Crawford.
Yes.
Those are 2 guys that ain't afraid to fight each other. And so especially Sean. Sean done fought everybody. Once Sean fight Crawford, he done fought everybody. I think it's just Crawford and Pacquiao.
Well,
It's the only 2 that Sean ain't fought. So he done been through all the guys. And that's what I'm talking about. Guys that's willing to fight each other, you know.
right. Get in there with anybody. You might get an L, but the action is there. People love your fight. I love Sean Porter for that reason. And not only that, Sean Porter is a stand-up human being in general outside of the ring as well.
Definitely.
And he has a lovely family. Plus,
Wow.
I like his dress style, you know?
Right.
Like he's mixing it up a little bit. I mean, I know recently they got on his shoes. They didn't like his shoes and you know that he had on. I don't even know if that was like Photoshop or what. But I'm just saying, like, if that's what the hell he want to wear, let man wear.
Right.
What's it to you? Also, Sean Porter is now reportedly back into training camp, and he's focused on a Bud Crawford fight. So, Mark, you might be on to something there. All right, so let's see what else he has to say. He says Porter is a problem to every fighter. That's why he loses and still top elite fighter and keep getting fights. That's right. I mean, he has to be a tremendous athlete, a tremendous boxer. I mean, how else can you explain being number 1 for both Bud Crawford with the IBF title and then also Spence with the 2 titles, WBC and what is it, the WBA? Right. No, Pacquiao has a WBA. So
Pacquiao is the WBA super champ.
That's right. But
Ugas says the regular champion.
Here we go again. Okay, I love you, WBC. You know what I'm saying? You give everybody a little chance to get a little bit of WBC green belt action. So I know some people don't like that, but I kind of like the idea. But I ain't with the medallions. Give me a belt. And matter of fact, it should be a belt just for podcasts. And I feel like we should get a WBC belt. What you think?
Hey, most definitely.
All right.
I love the green and gold, the red and gold, all black and gold. I love it all.
Yes. And shout out to Miss Chastain of the WBC Cares organization as well, doing great things. Okay, so I was gonna say, what else do you want to talk about besides the Spence fight?
Oh man, we got a weekend coming up full of fights this weekend.
Okay. You know what I was gonna say? I just remember it's WBC and IBF for Errol Spence, and then it's WBO for Bud Crawford.
Right.
And then Pacquiao has a WBA super champ belt, as you said.
Right.
So I feel like there's room for Sean to get a belt back, don't you?
Yeah, we got Ugas. the guy that Sean won against, and some people felt beat Sean. Jordanus Ugas got the WBA regular belt.
I mean, you know what? I can see that it was a close fight with Ugas, but my thing is you got to beat that champ. And he kind of put his feet off the gas there in them championship rounds when it mattered. So you got to beat the champ.
You know, and then you got these younger guys that's coming up. So I want to see the older guys going to mix it up and see who the top guy is, because you got these younger guys coming out like Virgil Ortiz. And then you got Ennis Boots coming up.
Yes, I love Ennis Boots.
So you got a lot of, guys coming up.
What do you think of Ennis Boots moving up to fight someone with a substantial name after this particular fight this weekend, of course? Like, who would you suggest he fight?
There was talk of him fighting Ugas. You know, I think he might be in line for that regular WBA welterweight title. So, man, that would be a good fight right there. Anybody against Ugas is a good fight. especially a young up and coming guy like Jared Boots Ennis.
Yeah.
He's a very, very talented young man. I've said that like 2 years ago when we first seen this kid fight. I think he's going to be a problem in that division. He might be the next boogeyman. They talk about Bud, but I believe this young Ennis Boots is going to be the next boogeyman because I see a lot of talent in this kid here. And then Virgil Ortiz, he's another one that's looking hot right now.
All right, so we got Otto, and he says, don't get me excited about that Porter fight. Well, we're going to get you excited, Otto. And then we got General Pendant, baby, from YouTube. And he's on our Boxing Playhouse YouTube channel. So shout out to him.
Shout out.
He says, Danny is finished.
Who said Danny finished?
What? General, come on. Don't be like that now. I mean, it's a level of class, it's a step up for Danny as far as class, I believe, but I mean, you don't have to be, come on, don't bash the man like this. I know he already feels, kind of bad. And then he says, Danny is finished. And Sean Porter said it in his podcast. Danny was saying, okay. And then Sherman Henson says, Danny needs to add his training staff. Okay.
That's what I was saying.
That's exactly what Emilio was actually saying or relaying the message about. But Sherman, even if you were on the training team yourself, what's the first thing that you would do to change Danny's habits? Tell us. And then Mark says, seriously, no joke. It's almost a done deal. It looks very positive. Okay, I heard that. And then I see Ivan is on here.
Ivan, what's up?
Promoter Wars.
Working on the fight card.
Yeah, he's always working on something. All right, and then let's see. Mark Anthony. Ugas is a solid fighter. He could be the next Porter, giving problems to many fighters.
Right, I agree with that, Mark.
Okay. Well, he's got to be, for me, he has the talent. He definitely has the skill level, but he got to work on the action. Because, damn it, I be watching his fights and I'm about to go to sleep. And I can't have that. Because both of us can't be sleep, Mark. We can't. All right. So the next thing we want to do is change subjects because we got a huge top rank card as well. Did you know that?
Oh, man. A lot of young talent.
I am really excited about all this talent they're going to have on their card this weekend, guys. And it's going to be on regular ESPN.
Wow.
Yes. No plus needed. So what I was going to tell you is Shakur Stevenson is at the top of the billing on this particular card. I mean, some of the other people that's on the card is Belinga.
Oh, Edgar Belinga.
Yes, yo dude.
Hard-hitting super middleweight that's been knocking everybody out in the first round. Can he do it again? It's a lot of talk, a lot of hype on this Edgar Belinga. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far.
Really?
Coming out of the New York area, Clarence, I see you there. Edgar Belinga, he's someone to watch. Everybody, want to see how he's going to do once he step up in competition. So he's definitely a guy to keep your eye on, and we'll see, how his career goes.
Yeah, and he's pretty damn sexy. I'm going to say it because I'm a female. I got some eye candy, too. He looks pretty good to me.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to take a little bit more competition before we really know where he stacks up in that division. But in the meantime, ladies, you want to see some good eye candy, you need to check out Top Rank's card this weekend. And you got Elvis Rodriguez on the card.
Another hard-hitting young dude, Dominican right there.
I
don't know if he's fighting at the junior welterweight or if he's coming in as a welterweight tomorrow, but
let's see.
That's another guy, another young talent that I'm excited about.
He's going to be doing junior welterweight.
Junior welterweight, okay.
For right now.
He's another exciting young fighter like Belinga, man. Two young dudes, heavy hands.
Yeah. So
I think we're gonna see some knockouts tomorrow night, y'all.
I can't wait, man. That might be a card where it's like all the rage, that's what's happening. Okay, we got General again from YouTube. He says Danny fighting for checkers now. Oh man, come on now. Oh, for checks. I guess he was saying for checks. Where are you from, General? You wrote checks like you're French. So what's going on? Where you at? And then General says he always goes on about his investments. He don't have the hunger anymore. Okay. All right. I hear you there. You might be having a point, but see, that's why he needs somebody to, kind of like slap him into reality and be like, look, we're talking about legacy now. Your money's doing good. So let's talk about what you're going to have lasting in this industry well after you retire. And then he say, like AB. Well, we'll get into AB in a minute, but I mean, do you see a comparison? Not at all for me.
Between AB and who?
Danny.
No, not that. I wouldn't go that far. Danny does train AB on something else. AB is definitely on something else. AB got the potential, but he just started losing focus, man. I don't think Danny went to AB level yet.
Right. I mean, okay. What do you think about Shakur?
Chris Stevens?
Yeah,
Oh man.
Is it time for him to step up the level of competition?
Yeah, I think it's time, to step up a little bit. Shakur is a very talented young man right there. He's really one of the most promising ones coming out of there. Got Andre Ward backing him. So,
well, guess what? I have news for you. He's fighting a boxer named Clary. And they're at junior lightweight right now, which is also, super featherweight.
Right.
And people are saying that Clary might be problems for Shakur.
I hope so. I want to see a good fight. I want everybody to be a problem. I want everybody to be a problem, man. Yes. I don't want to see no easy fights. I want to see some action, some knockouts.
Yeah.
And some even, I know all of them ain't gonna be even match, but I want to see some competitive matches.
Correct. That's true. That is very true. I mean, I couldn't agree with you more on that. All right, so we're gonna move on past that card, which is really good card though. But more news. We got Plant. We got my man Sweet Hands getting in that last fight of the year. He's going to be fighting. Oh, actually, he's fighting in January of next year. He's already come out with his fight, which is on the 30th of January. And it's going to be in Nashville. I hope we can make it. You think things will be cleared up by then?
Oh, no.
It's wishful thinking, I'm
Y'all
sure.
Y'all got to put this mask. You got to wear this mask like I got on, man, if we want to get to these fights.
I know. And plus, they look so
sexy. Put your
sexy.
mask on.
If they could wear the mask like you wear the mask.
Go to sleep with the mask on, man, if you want to see these fights.
We got to get some of these masks off our shelves right now. So you can go to www.boxingplayhouse.com to order you one of these lovely masks. Oh,
you got some lovely keychains.
Oh, let me have my keychain. I want to show them my keychain. Oh, that's right. I like the red one. I got my little keychain, and it's got our logo on it. Boom. That's our logo, and we got a black one. We got a red kind, and we got let's see, what else we got? We got what colors? Blue. We have a blue one too, and our logo is on it. It's so cute. So that will also be available online too.
You need your fighter to win. You could do like the movie Let's Do It Again and hypnotize them in between the rounds. Get your fighter to win the fight. Just put this on them in between the rounds.
Oh my God, you were too much. All right, Sherman is back to his answer on the Danny Garcia recommendations. He says Danny's a counterpuncher, so Danny has to learn how to take the lead and counterpunch off his lead, and not just be a counterpuncher and use his angles off of his counterpunching. Okay, I understand exactly what you're saying. Like, he needs to be first. You're saying he needs to get off his shot first. Then when his opponent fire back, he comes back with the counterpunch. Then let me know if I got it right. All right, so Joe Bond says Brick City. And then Mark says, isn't AJ fighting tomorrow? Yes, that is also one of our topics, Mark. Calm down. Boy, these people are really excited about our fight weekend.
That's like the first card of tomorrow. The UK cards start early, so
yes.
You want to tune in early to catch all that UK action, because there's gonna be a lot of fights, and I'm pretty sure AJ probably gonna come on, between 5 and 6. So you want to be at the crib, watching that early.
Okay, well, hold on just a second, okay? We're talking about Caleb Plant on the Nashville card fighting your Chris Eubanks Jr.
Yeah, that's going to be a good fight right there, man. I like Eubanks.
But do you see him winning? But do you see him winning?
No, I see him giving a good fight, but I think Caleb Plant, you know, he got some good boxing skills. I give Caleb Plant the edge. I could see him kind of like what Billy Joe Saunders did with Eubanks. I could see Caleb Plant, you know, outboxing Eubanks in an exciting fight. I think it's going to be an exciting fight. You know, with Eubanks pressuring him, but I could see Plant, you know, boxing and sticking and moving and being slick in there and winning a unanimous decision. That's what I see.
Okay, I understand all of that, but you know, my question is, am I gonna see a KO?
I don't think it's gonna be a KO that night. Eubanks is tough, and I don't think Plant gonna stop him, and I don't think Eubanks gonna be able to stop Caleb Plant. I think it's gonna be a decision.
Okay.
With Caleb Plant outboxing Eubanks. You know.
But do you promise me it's a lot of action?
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be some action.
Okay. Well, I can
definitely see some action in that fight.
All right. I understand. Okay. So Sherman says you are right. And then we got Ed Brooks who says Plant's gonna hit that dude from so many directions. Junior gonna think he's surrounded. You know that's right, Ed. Yeah. You know that's right. I mean, Caleb Plant is a beast at super middleweight. I mean, he's really grown into his body. He's in tip-top shape all the damn time. And he's vicious in there. Like, he got a killer instinct now. I mean, he is really one of those fighters that I've seen, like, really develop and be trained well and be gone up in the level of competition the way that should be done. And now he's ready for some serious action. So I'm real proud of the champ. Nashville born. Yeah. All right, so let's go back up. I saw your comment, G. We're gonna get to Clarissa News, and right after we talk about the fights that Mark was talking about earlier, which is wait a minute, hold on a second. I think he said something about I don't like it personally, but okay, so he's talking about the female topic. But we want to go back to Mark's comment, which is AJ. So for AJ versus Pulev, who you got and why? Guys, I need to know exactly from you guys who you have winning in that fight. And do you find it going to be close? Do you find it just going to be like, you know, one of those type fights where AJ is a sure win? Let us know. I want just the predictions. Somebody give me the predictions. Would you like to start?
I just see AJ outpointing Pulev, you know, typical AJ win. I can see him going the distance and just outpointing him. You know, it might be a lackluster fight. I don't even see it being an exciting fight. I just see AJ just outboxing him, trying to keep him on the edge, you know, the end of his shots. So I don't really see a exciting fight out of this. I just see a typical AJ maybe just boxing dudes for 12 rounds and winning a decision.
Okay. Well, I don't know about all that, but all I do know is that I did at least like the weigh-in, how AJ was looking. Anthony Joshua had thin muscle. Okay, it wasn't like all bulked up, and I think that helps him in his fights as far as stamina is concerned, and punching power too. Just being a little bit more lean and mean, you know. So I did like the way he was looking in there. I can't count out Pulev just like I couldn't count out Povetkin. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta just know that when you're dealing with these heavyweights, I always keep it in the back of my mind that it's just one punch away from somebody's night ending. Example, Dillian White. Yeah, you said that right. Okay, so let's see what Mark says his prediction is for AJ. He says, I see AJ winning, even if it's a close fight. AJ will win.
Right.
Okay. Sounds like he agrees with you there. And then let's see. Clarence says, Emelio, need that hat, bro.
Next time you come to town, I'll give it to you, Clarence.
All right, so I don't know who else is on that AJ versus Pulev card. I mean, do you have any idea? Did they
I
even
know
promote anybody else?
it's just a lot of UK fighters that's on that card.
Yeah.
Plenty fights on that card. I don't know, Ricky Hatton, I don't know if his son is making his pro debut. I think his son might be Ricky the Hitman Hatton's
Oh, I
son.
saw that he was going to be making a return to the ring.
His son making his pro debut.
Yeah, his son, right.
Yeah, might be, I think he's on that card. Ricky Hatton's son, so.
I mean, that sounds exciting. That's a whole nother generation of a good boxer. He's been around boxing all his life, so we can see what he has to offer.
And if he half as good as his daddy, I think
he'll be okay.
He'll be okay because his daddy was a tough dude, nice body puncher. He gave Floyd a good fight until Floyd check hooked him. Fought Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
But Ricky Hatton was, he was a junior welterweight champion. His dad, was a great European fighter from England. So his son, we have to see which way he goes. It's a lot of sons coming out of the UK. You got Conor Benn, Nigel Benn's son. Chris Eubank, got his son. I'm surprised. I wonder if Frank Bruno had a son. I ain't never heard him have a son fighting or anything, but there's a lot of sons coming out of the UK.
Okay. So basically, for the AJ card, where everybody is in agreement that AJ will pull out the win. But y'all just remember that that's the same thing that everybody was saying when he was in there with Ruiz Jr. the first time.
Right.
Perfect point, right? All right. So now we're going to get to our friend comment where he is talking about when he was talking about Clarissa Shields and her news that she's going to the MMA. So the question is, you guys like Clarissa Shields going to MMA? And then we'll just go ahead and read Mark's comment on that one, which is, I don't like it personally, but the girl is very talented. No stopping her and what she wants to do.
Right.
Yeah, that's very true. That is true. Let's just say this. Clarissa is her own boss. So if something doesn't work out, it's on her. If it does, and when it does, it's also on her that way too.
Right.
She gets to have the credit for her career. I think it's a deeper conversation, really, Mark, because of the fact that, you have to start looking into the reason why females feel like they need to go over to MMA, what's behind those moves, and what is our boxing networks and our promoters really saying to females when they don't want a top female, the top active female in the game right now on at least a card that has a different main event and maybe her as a co-main event, or even so, just have her on her own card as well. So I don't know. It's a deeper conversation for me because, I got to look into the reasons why she felt the need to have to also include MMA. She is still calling out Savannah, and Savannah is basically like, hey, I'm here for it. So maybe that can be the next fight that they can hype up and get some attention on, and really work their way up to a bigger fight. I think Clarissa's main problem in boxing is that she doesn't really have enough boxing partners, or what do they call, dance partners, to garner huge mega fights, because people only know that one fighter. So in her divisions. So I mean, I guess for me, I don't have a problem with her going MMA, but it's like what I have a problem with is the fact that she felt that she needed to go to MMA. Correct?
Right. I would have loved to have seen her, kind of, finish all her business in boxing. Got all the fights that she could possibly get out of boxing before she made that transition. That's mostly what a lot of fighters do. After they're done with one sport, then they go to another. I believe she's gonna probably be back and forth, with that. She's probably doing both.
Yeah, she did state that in an article that she did not say she was leaving boxing at all, but that she would be doing both simultaneously. And I don't know if that's a good strategy or not. And we have some comments here. Let's see. We got Joe Bonds. He says, some people respect themselves and stick to what they know. Okay, I don't know. That sounds like a little shade to me. Didn't that sound like shade to you?
So,
Joe, you sending shade out here at this girl. Well, come on, let me know. Like if you got something to say it. Don't be scared. You go ahead and say it. Because that sounded a little shady to me. But we love you anyway. And then Mark Anthony, he says, Amanda Serrano went to MMA and did well. She won. On my personal opinion, I don't like it, and I'll explain why. They are elite in boxing, and if they go to MMA and lose, it could damage and fans' view when it can damage a fan's view when they come back to boxing. Just my opinion. And then Sherman says,
I agree with that.
There is no motors that are moving black female. Oh, he's saying there's no promoters moving black female boxers.
I agree with Mark say, because if you go to MMA and get your ass whooped and knocked out, you're not going to look good as a champion coming back in that boxing ring. All people are going to remember is how you got choked out or knocked out. And now here you coming in the ring with all these belts on as a boxing champion. It just tarnishes your image and your whole legacy. So I agree with Mark, man. It could,
I mean, is it a risk? Yes. But think about what she stands to gain if she is popular over there. Then she takes UFC fans or MMA fans and she's transporting them back over to boxing, to where we need more fans at that rate too. Like we need more fans over in this corner, which is boxing too. So it can be looked at both ways.
And then another reason I think I could see her doing it, because she really won't have a lot of big name fights at in her division. So
the woman done went down like 4 divisions from middleweight, all the way down to almost like a super welterweight. So like, I mean, that's how low the opponents are for her bracket of divisions.
Right.
Also, I like what Sherman is saying, because these promoters, I have to go a little farther than that, Sherman, because it's not just black female boxers that they're ignoring. They really ain't giving no time of day to no damn female boxers. I mean, of course you got exceptions to the rules. Of course you got to take the Katie Taylor. And of course you got, I mean, you can't even put Amanda Serrano in that same bracket with Katie Taylor. So for the American side of things, then you see that it's only a few out there that's getting legitimate attention, and promoters are being reluctant to put them on these cards still, even though locally it's been proven that they make money, that they bring fans and put them in the seats, and that they are able to produce action-packed fights. So I don't know what to say about it, but I'm agreeing with the fact that the promoters are part of the problem, and they need to start being a part of the damn solution. And the only other way that they can do that is if these women start producing their own boxing cards. Like, just take over their whole damn industry. Wait a minute, did I just come up with something really cool? I like it. Of course, 2 or 3 of them together make a full card. All right, so let's see. Alana, she says, hey, Boxing PlayHouse, love you from Milwaukee.
Hey, what's up, Alana?
No, it's your hometown.
Hometown, Milwaukee, what's up?
Yes. And then Mark says, it'll take a step further. I'll take it a step further. Imagine an elite boxer going to MMA fighting a top 100 MMA and losing. Not only will be bad on them, but also giving the MMA more boost as better fighters all around. It could hurt boxing as well. That's true. It could, but at the same time, I mean, we've seen people like, Conor McGregor come over to boxing, do terribly, and then he still retain his fans over at UFC. And then we've seen somebody like Floyd, manipulate the MMA market and get attention, get them to buy, and then still go back to boxing as normal without having much repercussions. I mean, yes, he was the winner. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, like, I mean, when you lose and you went to a different sport, it's like people should really have like, they should really be like, damn, you know what? I give them credit because they tried something different. And that's not really their discipline. So I wasn't expecting them to do anything more than just be active in that sport and try it out.
Right.
So I can see it both ways, Mark, again. So let's see. Sherman says they all need to fight in Europe. That's right. And I know you went to Europe a few times because them ladies over there, they be brawling. They get their fight money over there. And it's a question of why is the U.S. so far behind in that respect, Sherman? They were putting on shows free now in New Mexico. You're absolutely correct. We just had a conversation last week with It's Ladies Night guest Sarissa. Is it Serena or Sarissa? McCoy, Black Rose. Serena McCoy, Black Rose. She was having a fight. She had just got through with a fight in Mexico and came back. Of course, she got the win. And then Mark Anthony says, kind of is different. He went straight to the number one fighter in the world. We can't compare apples and oranges. Well, you can call it apples and oranges, Mark, but the point is that you can see an MMA fighter come over, lose big, still retain his fight fans. And the same could be true for Clarissa that goes over to another sport and comes back and still retains her fans. But the other thing is that Clarissa has an image problem that people don't want to talk about. And the fact is that she could stand to grow some of her boxing numbers too. So if the regular boxing fans have decided that they don't like her already, why not for her to go over and try to entice some MMA fans? All right. So we got four texts Lack. What's up? He says, hi, Killer Podcast sent me here. Oh, you know what? Killer has decided that they want us to reschedule them. And that was him and Nate Campbell. So we're going to talk to them next week on Friday at 8 p.m. Thanks so much for coming to check us out, though. And I hope that you remain one of our fans, darling. So make sure you click that subscription button so you can get the notifications over at YouTube when we're on next time. But tell us how you feel about Clarissa Shields in the MMA while you're on here, because tonight we're just all about the fans and we're trying to find out exactly where fans are with that particular subject. All right, so let's see. One thing that I wanted to tell you guys about is a female fight that is coming up that is actually going to be on a card, and it's for a WBC World Championship belt. It's on the line, baby. So we got Lupita, who weighed in today, Lupita Martinez, and she's at 115. This is a super stacked division, guys. The flyweights for females. It should really be like really high on any promoter's list of fighters to check out, because it is so stacked. There's so much competition down there for women. And anyway, so Martinez is going against Lulu. Yeah, Lulu Rares. And this is for the WBC Superfly title. And so you can check out both of these ladies. They have Instagram pages, and you can also keep an eye out for them on Boxing Meets Beauty, which they specifically cater to the female news, female boxing news. So you should check them out too. And that is going to be in Mexico City tonight. Or actually not tonight. It's going to be tomorrow. But the weigh-in was today. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so much action tomorrow.
So much action. And then we see Jesus Escalera say, don't forget, we got big things coming beginning of the year. I said 2021, baby. 10K boxing. And then we see Mark. He's saying, you really think many people don't like her? Absolutely. There are a lot of Clarissa Shield haters. They don't respect the 2 Olympic golds that the woman got. They don't respect the amateur background. They don't respect the multi-division championship she's gotten. and possesses at the moment. They absolutely hate her. And you can just go to a couple of boxing groups that I know of, one of which I got kicked out of, guys, because I actually stuck up for Clarissa Shields. But I felt that they went too far and below the belt when they started calling her a gorilla, and I really didn't appreciate that. BS. You know that was BS.
That's
You've seen some of those posts like that coming after her.
The unfortunate part, people judge you by your looks, I think, hate to say it, but if she looked a different way, she'd probably be the best thing since sliced bread.
Yes,
being
movies,
on cereal boxes and everything.
Everything would be going in her favor. But that's why I was saying it's an image problem. Yeah. But nobody wants to talk about it. I don't know for what reason. She's a beautiful woman. But people don't consider her to be all American like they would, what's homegirl's name that was in the UFC? That was Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey.
Like that's what they call American beauty in this country, which is a load of BS. I'm American beauty. Don't you think so? Thank you. There's all kinds of American beauty is my point. It's not just one specific type. But until America catches up with the rest of the world, we'll just continue to say that some people don't like individuals because of the way that they are not in a stereotypical look for promoting. And it's a problem in boxing that a lot of people have, not just on the female side. There's a lot of great talent as far as men boxers are concerned, and people don't put the money or the engine behind them because they be like, yeah, but they don't have the look. All right, so I do think that, but I crazy a male boxer can be vocal, but a female can't. That's true. They cannot, because like you're saying, well, what happening to Clarissa is, they were like, oh, she's trying to be a man. Oh, she's too bossy. Oh, she says what she wants. Blah, blah, blah. It's like all this stuff against her. So then it's like, what's sad is that she is skillful. She's skillful, and boxing fans are missing a special fighter because their eyes is if she leaves to MMA. Okay, but she's not leaving boxing. She's just gonna do both. All right, so let's see. But I understand what she's saying because she is a special fighter and she's not garnering the type of attention that she should based on the things that Emelio was also saying. And let's see. Clarence says, I am fighting next year, training for sure. All right, so good luck on that, Clarence. Let's see. What weight class will you be at? And then Sherman Henson says, Clarissa needs a publicist. Clarissa does have a publicist, guys. I know this for a fact, and she hasn't had nearly just one. She's had several at this point. Well, I wouldn't even say several. I know for sure that she's had two. But I'm happy to say that Ladies' Night is actually changing the game up a little bit. We're making a cultural statement every first Thursday or Friday of the month by highlighting females in the game. I am now seeing, baby, that we got more people, more media outlets, more media podcasts in boxing that are now speaking out on female fights in boxing, or they're actually covering some females when they win, at least by posting, that particular boxer with their belts and things like that. So it's more coverage all around. And I didn't see all that before Boxing PlayHouse's Ladies' Night. So, of course, you'll be taking credit for that, right? Down with it?
Yeah, I love the local cards like 10K that, give the ladies a platform to show their talent.
Absolutely. All right. So Clarence says he's going to be fighting at 140.
Oh,
junior welterweight.
Okay. All right, Clarence.
All right. So the next topic, guys, right quick, because we're wrapping up on our hour. So you guys let us know any subject that you want to talk about too. But what I was going to say to you is Fox Sports, right? They're saying that Errol Spence says he's interested in and ready for a Manny Pacquiao fight. Do you see this happening? Is this a possibility? And do we want to see it? Do we want to see a Manny versus Spence fight?
I think that's why Errol was quiet about Bud Crawford. That's the fight he wants. He wants that big money fight, either with Manny or Canelo.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the reasons he didn't address Bud Crawford, because I think he's already negotiating with Manny Pacquiao. He got his eyes set on Manny Pacquiao, and he might go on and cash out. Who knows? Some guys get them big paydays, like we seen with Madonna. You get them big paydays, and you go missing in action for a few years. So
damn,
I don't know. He get that Manny Pacquiao fight. We might not never see him in Bud.
You trying to say he gonna ride off into the sunset like Madonna for years?
Man, we ain't seen Thurman after he fought Pacquiao.
Well, he did have an injury though, so that's kind of not fair. But
I don't know, man. I would have loved to see them fight Bud first, but you get that Manny Pacquiao fight. I don't know if we're gonna see much of Spence. He's a lot of these guys be looking to cash out in the end of the career after them big paydays like that. So we'll see. Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Well, I feel kind of bad about that situation, but I mean, I can't even say anything else about it, really. Mark says, Sonny Dubison's last fight, Emelio, you think it was a good stoppage or a premature stoppage?
I think it was a good stoppage, man. He had Sonny kind of, Sonny, our dude. He kind of had Sonny, man. You don't want to take too many of them headshots. He took a few good headshots on the ropes. So, and I don't know. I think it was a good stoppage. What do you think?
It's questionable. I can see it borderline-ish. But the point is to not get yourself in a situation where the ref has to question whether or not the fight needs to be stopped or not. And for me, Sonny didn't fight the fight that he knew he should have. He even said it after the fight.
Right.
I mean, when you got that much height and reach over someone, you definitely need to take it to your advantage.
Yeah.
But Brandon Adams, he is the boxeo champion. He's fought, many key high-ranked prize fighters. So the experience may also have played a big role, I feel, in that particular fight. Especially after we had just saw Dubison fight the couple of weeks before that, and was very skillful and used his height and reach to his advantage, and got and really showed out on this guy, and still didn't get the decision. But this is something that can happen to you when you do not have proper representation going with you to these fights, and when you're coming in as the B-side. You need somebody with experience behind the scenes that knows some of the shenanigans that these damn people will play.
Yeah, that fight, man. There's no way that Adams should have been up on Sonny. Sonny got that reach like a heavyweight, and Sonny should have kept dude at the end of his punches. Shouldn't even been in the corner like that. I know Sonny's a better fighter than that. I didn't want to see him get hurt. I thought it was a good stoppage. I saw his head go back.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, that's it, man. You don't want to take too many shots like that. You fight another day, man. That's how I see it.
Well, Mark says that he know it hurt me seeing him on that fight.
Yeah, me too, Mark.
And then
I was rooting for Sonny, so I definitely want to see him fight another day. I want to see him. All it takes is one more shot, and that could be it. So.
And then Dillian, what's up, my man? He says B-side fighters have rights too. Damn it. You do have rights, but you don't have certain rights that would allow you to petition the commission, review different fights and decisions that didn't go in your favor that maybe should have. There's lots of behind the scenes stuff that really you want to shake to that? Okay. That really you need to, be mindful of when you're coming in as the underdog, as they say. And okay, I see the beautiful Dahlia's on here. She wants to talk Clarissa. But first, let's see. Sherman Henson says, I think the better fight for Bud Crawford is, he said, I think the better fight for Spence is Bud Crawford, and it would pay more. Absolutely. I'm just, I don't want to talk about Pac-Man. Everybody knows the fight of all fights right now that every boxing fan wants to see is the Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence. So I don't understand why Spence is sitting up here talking like he can't make a huge money grab with a Bud Crawford fight too.
I think he'll make a good payday with Bud, and it's a better fight to me. But I still think he'll make more money fighting Pacquiao. You know, Pacquiao's the cash cow. You know, Pacquiao got so many followers and countries behind him. He'll make a good payday with Bud, but you know that Pacquiao. That's why he's gonna fight Pacquiao, because it's more money.
Yeah, I think he thinks it might be more money. Pacquiao does have a huge fan base, but this thing here, by the time they build up Spence versus Bud, it is gonna cross over and be more than just boxing fans. It's gonna be like one of those fights built up over time to where even the regular household name knows these two boxers and wants to see it. I think that's what they keep dangling it out there for, trying to garner regular household attention as well as the boxing fans behind.
Bud is definitely a fight I want to see, but he's not at that legendary status like Pacquiao with that money-wise. I feel like Errol will make more money fighting Pacquiao. I'd rather see Errol fight Bud, but that money with Pacquiao is gonna, you know, it's gonna be his cash out right there. That's gonna probably be his biggest payday. You know, I feel, unless he fight Canelo.
Well, with that being in mind, talking about the money situation, it has been reported that Danny Garcia's welterweight title with Errol Spence was an actual, exceeded 250 buys, 250,000 buys at $75 a pop now, which means that it pulled in $18,750,000. Spence's last two fights exceeded 300,000 on pay-per-view. And PBC's last pay-per-view with Tank versus Leo Santa Cruz, Leo that I love, generated over 200,000. So
guess who did the best numbers so far?
Tyson.
Tyson and Roy did the best numbers this year. Did better than Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder.
But that was an exhibition, so it was not a real professional bout. And there was lots of entertainment in there, including YouTube stars. So we cannot compare that. Now, to me, that's apples and oranges.
Right.
All right, so Dahlia, the beautiful...
You can't tell Roy that. Roy was taking them punches. You can't tell him it was no exhibition.
Mysteriously, he didn't catch that many to the head, though. I mean, come on. And then Dahlia Duran, she said, look, the beautiful Florida boxing Hall of Famer. Says maybe no boxing publicists want to deal with her issues, I think. So she's saying that, you know, when it comes to Clarissa, maybe there's not a boxing publicist that really wants to be hands-on with her because of certain things that, you know, we, the general public, don't really know.
Yeah, she's got probably a lot of issues and a lot of street in her. Remember the problem she had with
she want to be the boss.
Remember when her family hit the old man at the
that was her brother, yeah.
Brother. She bring a lot of baggage and people from the hood.
Yeah.
Publicists don't want to deal with all that kind of stuff.
I think whoever dealt with that did a great job because it's barely brought up anymore. Like I'm just saying. All right, so Dillian says the fight's over, can only learn from it and move forward. That's right. Sonny's fight is over, and he does say that he wants to, you know, move forward. So it's gonna be great. And I see Mustafa on here. I don't know what I can't see what he actually posted there. And then he says, I want to do an Ironman against Jake Paul, wrestling, boxing, then MMA. Damn, you want to do a trifecta with this man? I would want to too if I was a boxer. That's a lot of money. I mean, like Jake Paul or not, he's bringing a lot of attention to boxing right now, and he's also bringing his coins with his fan base. I mean, there's something to be valued at a huge fan base, even if it is from YouTube.
I seen Mustafa name. Mustafa, you made me think of Eddie Mustafa
Eddie
Muhammad.
Yeah.
And Mustafa Hamshaw, who fought Marvin Hagler back in the 80s.
And we got Clarence McLean. He says Bud needs a fight. Bud needs to fight Porter right now.
Hey, I want to see that, Clarence.
And then Rain, what's up, Rain? Rain says Pac first. If he can win, then Bud. But I think needs to fight Porter. You see what I'm saying? Because, like, see how that sets it up where if Pac wins, then all of a sudden, nobody's going to want to see a Bud fight with him at that point. So it's a big chance, I guess, Spence is willing to take. He thinks he can beat Pac.
That's where the most money, he going where the most money is, I think.
Yeah.
That's where the most money is with Pacquiao.
Well, it is global as opposed to Bud and them they're trying to develop it to be a global fight. And we got Jesus from TNK Boxing. He says, love watching you guys. You guys know you made it when you have your haters copying you guys and trying to be part of your show to keep up the great work. Oh, thanks so much. We appreciate that.
Appreciate that, Tito.
All right, so we got Clarence McLean saying salute. I mean, yeah, we just can't worry about these haters, and we can't worry about, actually, they're lovers. They love what we do, but they don't want to give us credit. But that's okay, because we still got our fans that we have on here now that we know ride or die with us 110%, and they'll never have that. So I'm good. What about you?
Hey, I always go with Cat Williams say, you ain't winning if you ain't got no haters.
You like haters, don't you?
I don't say I like them, but you ain't winning if you ain't got them.
I think you like saying, yeah, I guess some haters, yeah. But I'm with you on that. Okay. I want to talk about some bad news that happened, which is basically Tiny Nestor, also known as Debo from the movies Friday and Fifth Element as the president. He died at 62, so we want to send love and condolences to his family for their loss.
He was a big boxing fan. Actually, a Facebook friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine, Greg Carey, at Boxing Elite, did an interview with him that he's going to repost. So y'all want to see that? Greg did a great interview with Tiny about a month ago. So,
Boxing Elite. Yeah,
Boxing Elite. Check him out, man. Greg going to repost that with the interview he did with Debo. So
I just think it's sad. This Friday movie, I mean, they've waited so long. First the studios wouldn't support a franchise move. They would not give Ice Cube the money to invest in doing these movies. And then once they did finally approve it, then we started getting COVID. We lost, Pops. What's his name? John Witherspoon, yes.
Witherspoon
passed away first, and now this,
Bernie Mac was one of the people on Friday.
Yeah, Bernie Mac.
The little midget died that was in there.
Yeah, it's been a lot of passing, so I think they're just gonna have to let this movie go, or they would have to try to reinvent some of these people's characters, kids or something. Like, they doing these reboots with like Full House and things like that, in which now those characters now got kids and stuff. I don't know, but I mean, it's a lot of people that's missing.
A movie like Friday is a classic. I say let it rest, man.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Some of the key players are gone. You waited too long. The movie should have been made 10 years ago, so don't even mess with it now. I just leave it alone. Some movies are better left alone. So
that's true. Some movies were better, like they should have left it alone. So we got Rodney Hamilton Sr. from Memphis, Tennessee, baby.
Memphis.
What's up, Memphis?
Lake the
King area. He says, hey, Sakura, happy holidays. Happy holidays to you. You see, I got my holiday bling. This is like one of my holiday shirts I like to wear to be festive. And then we got Clarence He says, forget the haters.
Hey, Rodney, you ain't got to tell me, hey, man. It's all right.
I was nicer to him at the fights than you. That's what it was. Yeah, gotta be nice. And then Sherman, he said, Sean Porter is not the fighter that anybody should want to see. He is just a football player with boxing gloves on. Sherman, come on now. Sherman, this used to be true about Sean Porter, but not anymore. This guy has improved in all areas of the sport. I have to give him credit. Now, you were totally right about him maybe 4 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, he did used to be an NFL player 4 years ago.
Yeah, in the ring.
Yeah, he was. And
Yes.
flash MMA fighter. He was all that.
But he has since evolved in so many ways, and I'm like really proud of him as a boxer because he really has added a lot of dimensions and tools to that toolbox.
Even his commentating is great. I think.
Yes, commentating. Yeah, I love his commentating.
I think Sean is evolved.
And he still seems genuine, even though he's giving you like play-by-play. Sherman wants to call us later and explain. No, we don't want you to explain Porter. We feel that he's improved.
Yeah, he showed some skills in there with Errol Spence, I think.
Danny Garcia too. I mean, did skills on him. He did all skills on him.
Yeah.
He tried to do skills with Usyk, but I'm not Usyk. I'm sorry. Ugas. Yes. So I just feel like he's done a lot of improvement to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see who else we got up here. Clarence, he's saying Sherman Henson sounds upset. That's all the time. Sherman is upset all the time. He stay in that moment. But you gotta be somebody like me that is like, I'm the female of the group, so I get to say, Sherman, shut up right now, because we are talking about something different now. We get into arguments all the time, but I still love him. All right. So he said, I was in camp with Sean Porter. I know. Okay, but how long ago was that? All right. So listen, guys. We're almost wrapped up. It's 9:07, so we're actually over the 9 o'clock mark that we said. I'm just looking through to make sure.
The Showtime card. I wasn't quite sure.
Okay, so the Showtime card.
You got, dang.
Is Figueroa on that? Brandon Figueroa? No, he is agreed to a deal. Brandon Figueroa is going to face Louis Neary. And they've agreed to a deal at 122 pounds. It's going to be a title shot, and it's slated for the first quarter of 2021. It's going to be a huge fight on PBC because, it's going to be action-packed, and the winner moves forward in their career, basically. One of those type fights. They also are the most dangerous fights when it's, when the stakes are so high. But let's see. Both fighters are 25 and under. Wow. So they both are very young. Okay, so let's see what I forgot. Terrence and PBC was tweeting at each other. So Terrence says, I'm moving back down to 135. Fuck it. And I guess that was like code for like, I'm tired of dealing with y'all on this negotiation shit. But then Premier Boxing, they wrote back, they put an emoji for a running man, and then they put hashtag man down. Like made them lead the division. All right. So
I forgot when we were talking about Danny Garcia. I forgot to say, besides getting a new trainer, as a comeback opponent, I was thinking Josito Lopez would be a good comeback for Danny. A fight with him with a new trainer.
Yeah.
To see where he at. I think that would be a good fight.
I like that Josito Lopez, but I also like Josito Lopez actually stole the show the other week, by the way. His fight was much more action-packed and it was good compared to the Spence Garcia fight to me.
Right.
And I also wanted to see, I don't know if they're gonna move him up to where he said he's never had a easy fight. Like they never gave him an opportunity to be like a tune-up fight or anything like that. They just always throw him in there with like some of the best in the division. even the best out of his division when he went to Canelo, remember?
Right.
But I would like to see that fight. But I also think that would be a great opposition for Ennis Booth to try to move up to.
Yeah.
As well.
I think Ennis got his fight next week, and you know, if he win that, I believe next year we're going to see some top 10 type guy fights with Ennis. You know, I think he's getting closer and closer. You know, cracking that top 10 and eventually getting in line for the title shot. You know, he might already be a mandatory for Ugas, I'm hearing. So
okay,
that's a fight I would love to see. Ennis Boots and Jordanis Ugas for that regular WBA belt. So he's moving up. Virgil Ortiz is moving up. You know, so you know these young guys is coming up. That's why I want to see all the older guys going and you know
go ahead and get their fights.
Get all these fights out the way to see who the top guy is. You know,
that's true.
These young guys is coming on the scene.
Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah, they coming up.
I can't wait. So then, okay, you asked me about the PBC fight this weekend on Showtime Boxing. It's going to be Chris Colbert.
Chris Colbert out of New York.
Yes. And then versus Jamie Arboleta.
Right.
And that is for this weekend. So watch out for the Showtime fight as well. The top ranked card is on ESPN. The DAZN card, which is Anthony Joshua versus Pulev. And then I want to mention that the Bare Knuckles Fighting Champions are also having a fight card tonight. And that is also going to be pretty entertaining. They have a new British champion that came over to be a part of their Bare Knuckles Fighting Champion brand. So we'll get to see that as well.
Is our boy the Juggernaut fighting on that, Lorenzo Hunt?
I don't think so. I don't think he's fighting on this card. Or is he? Easy E is not. He says that he's slated to come back in February. But Lorenzo may be fighting on that card. I'm not sure. But he says that his next fight would be decided by the fans. So I'm looking forward to see which one of these guys the fans are going to put him up against in their next Bare Knuckle Fighting Champion brand. So for us tonight, we're so happy to say that we wrapped up all the hot topics that we wanted to tonight. Sherman, you are a great participant of our show as well. Mark Reyes, thank you so much for participating. And send a nice shout out to MRJ for us. We got Jesus Escalera of T&K Boxing Promotions checking in on us.
Ivan.
We got Promoter Wars.
Ivan.
And then we also have a situation where we got the beautiful Dahlia checking in on us as well. And then we got Clarence, of course,
from
New York. And then
McLean Promotions.
Yes, absolutely. We got Dylan from Chicago checking in with us and adding value to our show.
Stop it.
Yes. And then, of course, we had our YouTuber Vortex that came in for somebody else's podcast, but that's okay because we love you anyway. And then we had another YouTuber. We had Alana Sampson from Milwaukee joining us.
My hometown right there.
Joe Bond was in the house tonight. Thank you so much. Ed Brooks, you were in the house. And then, let's see, we had General Pendant. Remember General? He was adding his details on Danny. And Otto, what's up, Otto? Thanks so much for your time tonight.
And then New York Hall of Famer guy. That's the New York Hall of Famer.
Oh, Henry Brown. Henry Brown was in the house. And we had Victor, who just had to say that we did not know anything about boxing, and he got put in his place right away. So, from us to you, thank you so much. We'll see you next week, next Friday. And until then, don't get too stressed out with life because God is always with you. And Boxing Playhouse, too.
One love, y'all.
Cheers and good night.